There's still a tremendous amount of media money flowing into all sorts of offline media, and yet the eyeballs and ears and the attentions of consumers are moving increasingly online. So can we expect over the next several years that an increasing percentage of media budget will move online? Which forms of old media do you think will suffer most as a result of budget shifts?
Actually, one of the things I have to say that I'm a very big fan of using an and strategy, not an or strategy. So I'm a very big fan of that. Like video did not kill the radio star, right? I mean, the medium simply evolved to being something different, and it still is relevant. I listen to NPR every day. I am betraying my loyalties here, but right, and so the thing that CMOs have to be aware, I think executives have to be aware, is you should always have your and hat on rather than the or hat. I think we put the or hat too much. We'll say, let's kill search, so we'll do Facebook. Let's kill Facebook, so we can do display. I think it's all a silly strategy. Your consumers are now going to exist in many, many, many different channels. And our overall strategy should be that we're going to invest appropriately in terms of the media mix we have, online or offline, so that it is representative of the places that our customers are, current or potential, and then have that as their plan. Now the channels, in terms of your specific questions, the channels I think that are facing the greatest challenge, I think typically are the shout channel. And typically they tend to be channels where the relevance is really low, right? And by the way, this is happening online and offline. I don't think that it is fair to say, oh, it's just TV, or it's just newspapers, or it's just, I mean, you could look at display. So many display campaigns that are so badly, there's no relevance, and all they do is shout. Well, they're suffering, right? So any channel where you're simply shouting and providing irrelevant messaging, wrong time, wrong place, wrong message, is going to suffer in the next X amounts of year. The channels that will thrive are channels which allow you a greater degree of relevancy to be offered through your advertising message, and the most amount of data to make sure that those dollars are being held accountable. So those two things, I believe, are key. And there are innovation happening in television, in fact, where I am seeing some really interesting amounts of data coming out of set-top boxes and things that is bringing the same amount of accountability, the same kind of accountability to television that people expect from search or display, through any company, of course. And I'm actually very excited that that's actually going to make television advertising better. And companies will be able to invest in and strategy even more. But if there are channels where the channel doesn't evolve to be more relevant to consumers. We all know newspapers are facing such a huge challenge. How do they evolve? And then how does advertising in that channel evolve to make sure it stays hyper relevant rather than shouting, and provide some level of accountability in terms of data? Those channels will thrive. But I have to say, online is where they exist the best. But I am utterly confident, based on some of the innovation I'm seeing, that it will also happen offline, and it will be an online and offline strategy.